Good evening. It's 7:32, February 4th. I'm going to call the planning board to meeting to order. Sue could not be here tonight. She had a death in the family, so we send out our wishes and condolences to her. First up on the agenda is the public hearing for expansion of the village zone to include from map 28 lots 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 17 alpha, 31, 33, 33 alpha, 35, 38, and 39. If you're here in the audience and you have not signed in, please sign in over there. Sandy, are you presenting? You want to give a quick summary of it? Okay.
The proposed lots is actually two separate applications. Myself, who is applying for, let's see, let me just make sure I get mine right, is 38, 33, 31, 33A, 3, 5, 6, and 4. The other said lots, which are 9, 10, 11, and 17A, those are actually applied by Sunnyside Cottages. What we're doing, the application went in to ask that these lots are changed from agricultural, residential to village. Basically, the town center, as we feel, is not zoned correctly, at least the Route 5 corridor itself. The lots that exist, just for example, Lakeside Market actually sits on a conditional use permit. If it was zoned correctly, it would just fall under village. Lot 3 was just recently acquired by my husband, and it right now has a line drawn through it. If you actually look at the zoning, how it's made, there is actually no general makeup of how that line was drawn. There's no natural boundary as a road. There's no natural boundary as woods or water, etc. So that we're just asking that it can be considered village.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak on this?
I have a question. On this map that I have, lot, is that 8 or am I not able to see it? Maybe it's not 8. Oh, I guess it's 6, I'm sorry.
6. I can point out, if you'd like me to put it on the big map.
No,
and just
that's
kind of tell
okay.
people what the
I
lots
couldn't
are.
do it.
You know what, could you do that, please?
Isn't that
Yep,
St. Stephen's?
yep, I can.
Isn't that St. Stephen's?
This parcel here
Yeah,
belongs to the
yeah.
town hall. Here's where the town hall sits, and it's actually sitting halfway, I believe, over this line. Half the town hall's on agriculture and half on village. This back triangle actually belongs to the Hurleys. That's also now where the ice cream business just started up this summer. 33 and 33A belong to Lakeside Market. 31, 10, 9, 11, and 17A all belong to Sunnyside Cottages. One lot of Sunnyside Cottages, there is a boundary of Laughing Loon Lane, so this 31 actually abuts Lakeside Market. Lot 3 belongs to Leo Burnett. That's actually in between, if you're familiar with Route 5, Children's Challenge, and currently now Burnett Insurance Agency. It did used to be a real estate office. And currently there is a line basically directly in the middle of the lot, so half of it's zoned village and half of it's zoned agriculture. Lot 5 is Stephen and Janet Roberts, currently a residence, and it falls in the residence under agriculture or village. And there's a church here also, which isn't technically a business, but it is a public gathering place. Okay.
Just for the public's record, there is difference between A&R and village for conditional uses and permitted uses. Generally, the village is more business orientated. I mean, you can't have residential in the village, but whereas the A&R is more traditional agricultural and residence, smaller lot size. So those are some of the highlights of the differences on it. We do have 6 letters that have to be read, so bear with me as I read through the volumes. This is from Margaret G. Dodge in Hollis, New Hampshire. It's addressed to the board. The board has two proposals before that are really quite different and should be treated individually. The Sunnyside proposal by the Hecox would have profound impact on the lake as well as the town of Waterboro. Changing the zoning would open up shoreline property to commercial development with all that goes with it. There's a big difference between renting a few seasonal cottages part of the year and all that village zoning will allow. Lot size and allowed uses could change the whole character of this area. It is, after all, truly lakeside property, which is the very purpose of the zoning. All zoning must have borders, and stretching these borders in a piecemeal manner would be wrong. The Hecox proposal would drastically alter property values for those of us who own property assessed by Laughing Loon Lane. To my knowledge, none of the abutters was ever consulted formally or informally by the Hecox. I do not think this is the way people from Maine would treat their neighbors, especially because of the monetary impact. More than simply the financial aspect, this would change forever how the lake is enjoyed by many generations of our family and my neighbors' families as well. Please enter my firm opposition to these proposed changes. Thank you. Sincerely, Mark G. Dodge. The next letter is from Kyle M. Tompkins in Blackstone, Mass. It's addressed to the board. I'm writing to express my opposition to the proposed zoning change. This change would have a drastic and profound negative impact on my family's, the Dodge property on Little Ospey Lake, located adjacent to the Sunnyside property. My daughter, Michaela, is the sixth generation of my family to use and enjoy this property for its intended reasons, recreation. It has not always been easy to keep this property in our family, but the sacrifices we have made to do so are worth it. We all spend as much time there as possible every year. My sister and brothers and I grew up spending weekends and family vacations there, as our mother and her siblings and our grandmother, her father, and grandmother did before us. It is a treasured part of our lives. To allow commercial development to take place would destroy the beauty, the privacy, and the very character of Little Ossipee Lake. Please do not allow this to happen. Thank you for your time and consideration. The Tompkins. The next letter is from Beth Rayner Zakowski in Milford, Mass. It's sent to the board. I'm writing to express my profound opposition to the request before you for the proposed zoning change. This change would have a tremendous negative impact on my family, the Dodges property on Little Ospey Lake, located next to the Sunnyside property, as well as the other properties in the area. My brothers and I are the fifth generation of the same family to use and enjoy our family's property for its intended purpose, recreation. Little Ospey Lake has always been a place for us to gather as a family, enjoy the beauty and serenity of the lake. Over the years, I've had dozens of friends to stay, and every single one of them has commented on how beautiful and unspoiled the lake is. Over the past 10 years, we have watched in distress as countless trees have been cut down and land cleared on the adjoining property and along Laughing Loon Lane. To allow commercial development to take place and destroy the natural beauty, the privacy, and the very character of Little Ospey Lake. Please reject the requested change of zoning and do not permit the desecration of Little Ospey Lake to happen. Thank you for your time and consideration. The Zakowskis. This is addressed to Selectman Moore. Subject: zoning changes. My granddaughter is the sixth generation in our family to enjoy the camps on Little Ospey Lake, appearing as lots 9, 10, and 11 on the map. She may well be the last. The first property was purchased in 1929 by my great-grandmother, Mary C. Ward, then a resident of Sanford. My mother was a camper at Laughing Loon. My sister, brother, and I were fortunate enough to be able to spend all of our summers there, swimming, boating, fishing, and visiting the ranger station at the top of Little Ospey Mountain, picking wild blueberries and raspberries on the way. If the waterfront properties are zoned commercial, then I foresee Waterboro Center and Little Ospey Lake becoming another Old Orchard Beach. The peace and tranquility of our property has always been compromised by the obnoxious campground across the lake. For years we've endured the amplified music emanating from there and chased their campers who have swum across the lake from our docks. The current owner of Sunnyside Cottages has removed numerous trees
And built two
and built two non-conforming structures that have already devalued our property. Thank you. If this rape of the landscape is allowed to continue, then our vacation idol is subject to further devaluation, both for us and future generations. My husband joins with me in expressing our adamant opposition to these zoning changes. Although I live now in Ohio, Little Ospey Lake is still my favorite place on earth, and I try to get back often as I can. Sincerely yours, Leslie Dodge Leitner. This is from Karen M. Dodge, Fair Oaks Ranch, Texas. It's to the board. This letter is written to express my concern and firm opposition to the request before the planning board for zoning changes to expand the village zone, which would have a profound and negative impact on the properties on Ospey Lake. I personally have enjoyed our camps on the lake for 60 years, and the Dodge's interest in our lake property date back to my great-grandmother, Mary C. Ward, in the 1920s. In the last 10 years, decisions made by owners bordering our lots have destroyed much of the privacy and aesthetic
Aesthetic.
quality of our land, and were done without consideration for or consultation with any of the other property owners along Laughing Loon Lane. The result has been the creation of inappropriate buildings, destruction of trees, and overbuilding in an area of the town which always has been enjoyed for recreational use. A change in zoning would destroy the value of all lakefront property. I'd like it noted for the record, I am asking the planning board to not only reject the current request for zoning changes, but to exercise its authority to restrict and prohibit the further removal of trees on the lots identified in this request. Little Ospey Lake is a source of great pleasure for everyone and a distinguishing attraction in Waterboro Center. It should not be damaged or compromised by further commercial development. Thank you for considering public comment. Sincerely, Karen M. Dodge. This last letter is from Robert and Irene Prendergast of Waterboro, Maine. Although we are unable to attend the public hearing, we would like to express our concerns regarding the proposed change to expand the village zone. We feel it would dramatically alter the quality and value of our property. 2, we have grave concerns about the ecological impact to the lake and surrounding land resulting from the change in lot size requirement of 80,000 square feet to as little as 20,000 square feet. Another concern is the impending increase in both boat traffic on the lake and automobile traffic on Route 5. We'd also be opposed to any commercial development that would affect our property value. Sincerely, Robert V. Pendergrass. So those are the letters that people had sent in.
Gary Moore, resident of Waterboro, live down on the end of Laughing Loon Lane. I don't begrudge anybody in business in Waterboro to be successful, and I do business with the Bennett's regularly. However, in regards to some of those letters, the thing that bothers me the most would be the increase in density from the current 80,000 square feet to possibly as low as 20, which is, of course, increased by 4 times. Route 5 is a very busy section through there, very narrow. The causeway has lots of pedestrian traffic down through there right now during the summertime. Has been accidents in there. I personally, in the summertime especially, because of the new light up there by the town hall, if you go to turn left, sometimes traffic is backed up beyond Laughing Loon Lane, and you have to wait for the light to cycle before you can even get out. It's just an idea of that the density already is pretty strong down through there. Let's see. Oh yeah, Laughing Loon Lane is a private road. As far as I know, it's so narrow. It's a 1-lane road. It can never meet town standards unless abutters are going to be willing to give up substantial pieces of their property to make it a town road. When I look at this map, the proposal is to extend the commercial zone, that 20,000 square feet, a good portion down Laughing Loon Lane. Who knows what the future holds for what businesses would be there, but what's to say that the Laughing Loon Lane becomes impassable or destroyed through increased traffic, where it's a private road, town won't have anything to do with it. Who's going to fix it? That's another thought that I had. As far as the businesses along the section that will be developed, chances are there'll be a normal business hour kind of a thing where they would open, close, where the residents that live there would need to endure whatever traffic and inconvenience that would entail year-round, whether it's day or night. I think it would also, I agree with a lot of letters there say that to increase this, we don't know what the proposals are, could possibly happen by changing this to 20,000 square feet, but I feel that where it's right now a nice tranquil area, it's been that way forever. I hate to see it change to a high-density area, and I think that would, in fact, change the value of my property downward, so it would affect me personally as far as that goes. That's pretty much. Like I say, I don't have any begrudging the way it is now. I'm glad the Bennett's are very successful, and more power to them. but to just change it the way it is to more density is what I object to.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Barbara Lamont, and I live on the lake also. And our cottage was built in 1912 by my grandfather, and it's been in our family all these years, and we just love the way that it is. We come here, we relax, we bring friends here, and they sit down and they say, "Oh my God, the stress comes right out of our body." And I have huge concerns, not just because of my ties to the lake, I mean, it's in my blood and everything, but I have huge concerns. One is, are these two proposals, do they have to be joined together? Is there a reason why they're both going forward together? And why, I can see what your proposal is, but why is Sunnyside going at the same time? I mean, is it just a coincidence they're both going forward and Frank is not here, or?
So they, just being, we're their neighbors, their property 31 directly abuts us, and it's on the opposite side of Waterboro Maine, so it's truly our abutter. And we assumed and asked, because they were our abutter, we were going to the planning board to put an application in, and we had said, you know, let them know, and they said, would you include us at that point in time as a neighbor? Yes.
Okay.
So that they are included based on they're our neighbor, they're our abutter.
Okay.
So
But what about the rest of the houses down there? They're not included, so they didn't have, you're not going to zone any of that too?
No,
You
it
know,
was
like
only
Mark's
direct,
house is right
it was
there.
all, you had to have access directly to Route 5. The property has to be
Yeah,
accessed
the
off
property
Route
owner.
5.
Oh, I see.
Route 5 is
Okay.
actually,
17A was
Route-
included.
Okay.
Route
Right.
5 is actually a state aid highway, and that's why that we did what we did, because it has access onto Route 5. Laughing Loon Lane, they cannot use that Laughing Loon Lane as an access to those, if they did anything. I don't know that Frank has any intentions. The problem Frank had is he's been issued building permits in the past as village zone already.
He has.
Yes.
Can those be rescinded, since they shouldn't be valid, I wouldn't think? If he, how could he get a village zone permit if he's in an
We don't know.
agricultural zone?
And I think what people need to realize, and if you go back in the history of Waterboro right now, the Taylor Fry House, Mr. Levitt, he brought the first store to Waterboro. That was the store that I own now. It was located where the fire barn, little fire barn is. They moved it down to its current site, and it's been numerous owners through the years, and most people can remember back to Dick Place, but it goes back to 1857. Up to the lake where the church is and all the way back through was the commerce center of Waterboro. It was all small businesses. That's how Waterboro got its start. There was a lot here, and there was a lot down in South Waterboro where the milk room is, because there's a train station now through there. But this area here it served all the lumber mills in town. It was the commerce area of small businesses. That's what we would like it to still be. But we have a lot of businesses right now that are running in AR zone under conditional use permits. Mine being one of them. My brother's business across the street, Bennett Insurance Agency. I've purchased a lot next to it. We would like to get those lots village. What Frank wants to do, I can't speak for him.
Well, and I also have a concern with the traffic. I mean, it is quite busy, like Gary Moore said, coming out in the traffic during, Frank has rental properties with small children running to the store, and all of a sudden, there's going to be more traffic, and is it a hazard for small children? And I look down Route 5, where they've got Village Zone down by Hannaford's and everything. I realize you're not there, but...
We're village zoned, all Agency 1 is village zone. Children's Challenge is village zone. Half the lot across from the store is village zone right now. The village is literally only missing 300 feet right now.
Right, but that's like not a big traffic area. I mean, the children's place during the week, they drop the children off at a certain time, and they bring them back. Agency people pop in if they're going to go view a home or this and that. It's not like it's a store that people are coming and going to get the gas, the bread, the milk. It's not the high traffic that you would see if it was like the store got bigger.
Our store?
Yeah.
Oh, our store isn't getting bigger, I can tell you that right from the get-go. It is what it is.
Okay. I just was concerned about that, the traffic and everything in the area. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments from the public?
My name's Mark Dodge, and one of my letters there, and there's some from the rest of my family were there. We're immediate abutters to Sunnyside. We've been there for, since, as was mentioned, since my great-grandmother bought the place in the 20s. I think there are two separate issues before the board here, and I think it does a disservice to the Bonnettes to tie them to Sunnyside, because I think that's where most of the objections come from. That's certainly why I am here today. I live in New Hampshire, and I came here for this meeting. So I want to, as I say, I think there are two separate issues here. I think that perhaps the zoning board would want to clarify what is village zone, everything for appropriate usage. But I don't think that any of the Sunnyside property should come under that designation, partly because it would open it up to who knows what in terms of development. And as it is now, as I mentioned in my letter, there's a huge difference between the occasional rental, seasonal rental of a property, and even that, we have a very short season here at the lake, and to almost any kind of commercial enterprise. And again, that would open it up to further subdivision. The lot size requirements would change, and that would have a big impact on the lake as well as the neighbors. So I just wanted to be here and express my opposition. I think there are two issues here, and I think it's unfortunate because I think the Bonnettes have an appropriate case there, and I think that if you tie them together, it will. It's unfortunate. So, thank you.
Hi, my name is Priscilla Tobin. I'm from Wilmington, Mass. My husband's family has been coming here since my father-in-law was 5 weeks old. We raised our children. The youngest was 8 months old. We were coming here for 8 years. We had to leave for a number of years. We've come back. It's probably been about 6 years. And like Mark says, I have no opposition to the Bonnettes. I think they have the best egg sandwiches in town. And like Mark says, that there are two different subjects. And I'm concerned about Frank's intentions. I know that Sunnyside gets very congested. I know the boat traffic coming in and out of that cove is very small. Worried about soil erosion when the boats come in. I mean, the boats come in and they do the crazy, the circles, and there's a lot of traffic in there. And I'm just afraid that he's going to develop the other side of Laughing Loon Lane, and I think that would be doing a great disservice to the surrounding area. I think it'll be severely compromised. I just think it'll be overpopulated. And I have no opposition to what you plan on doing, but I really wish I knew what Frank's intentions were. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the public? Any comments from the board?
You want to just discuss it later, or?
Yeah, we'll bring it up as old business on the...
I definitely have comments that I'll put forth later.
One of the things that does bother me is we're changing this with no real vision as to what's going to happen.
And without that, what you have to expect is what is allowed by the ordinance.
Can I speak? Because I would actually like to read something, because I think I'm going to give something back soon. The UNLAP had made it a point to me to state the comprehensive plan, and I think that's what the vision truly is. And in the comprehensive plan for Waterboro, it does say that there are 4 villages within Waterboro. And at this point, I don't think the town has foreseen any vision. I don't think we've gone through with any of them, and I think going forward that we have to start somewhere. So I would like to read an excerpt from the comprehensive plan to the general public, so if those who don't understand what's in this plan currently and want to get involved where Waterboro may be in the future, this is what it says. Waterboro Center, and this is 2 places that we're talking about. This is not only Waterboro Center, but it's also on the zip code, I guess, of East Waterboro. East Waterboro is also Route 5 corridor. As you can see, very closely abutting this, we have the Hurley property, which is mostly village already. We're just trying to get the rest of the corner squared up. You have Real Estate 1, which is in the village zone that directly abuts Lakeside Market. You have Children's Challenge, which is already in the village zone. You have Lot 3, which Leo had purchased. Half of it is village, and the other half is agriculture. So what I'm saying is, I guess, that village, when that line was drawn, one, I don't know who drew it and what the reasoning was, but I think it can extend. The center of Waterboro, as Leo had mentioned, has always been the center of Waterboro. You have the Taylor Levitt House, which was one of the first general stores in this town. It provided the postal service. We had libraries right in the center of town, our town hall municipality. Sunnyside Cottages has been in existence from the beginning of time. I can't speak for Frank and Winnie, but I can't see them changing that. That stays in their family. And if anybody doesn't know, that Sunnyside Cottages actually came from a structure that was on Ossipee Mountain that was actually a hotel that existed there. Owners a long time ago built a very large ship and had taken it down to
West Indies.
the West Indies and had sold the ship to build a hotel that was established on Ossipee Mountain. That hotel was then dismantled, and actually Sunnyside Cottages was built from that. So I don't see Sunnyside actually dismantling itself, since it was the historical part of our town. In the fire of 47, one of the most important areas that they saved, the Navy actually came in because we had the equipment at that time. Parcels that were saved was actually Lakeside Market at that time. It would have been Dick Places, Sunnyside Cottages, the church. There was one other structure that was saved at that time. It is the center of our Waterboro. If anybody, we hear it thrown out, well, we don't want a McDonald's and we don't want a Rite Aid. We don't either. Particularly as we own Lakeside Market, it is Lakeside Market. We cherish the lake, I think, more than anyone. We protect ourselves with the groundwater. We have 6 test wells. We have people come and inspect us. We foresee a vision, and the vision is actually in the comprehensive plan. So I do just want to read that, so people who are not aware of the comprehensive plan, this is what people in our town have set, that this is the precedent and what we want to see. Waterboro Center is a civic and cultural hub of the community. A new library or a new post office would be located near to the town hall. I can tell you that we did solicit 2 years ago and asked for the post office to maybe be centralized in this area. We were actually willing to provide our property for the central post office. It was sent down somewhere along the lines within the town and the selectmen that they didn't want to dismantle all 3 post office and actually put them into one. So that is no longer even an option. So we were trying to follow the comprehensive plan, but we actually were not allowed to in that. Other possible civic, cultural buildings in the area would include a community center, a senior center, an ecology education center, or an arts center. The center is also a place for seasonal businesses such as restaurants and food stores, gift shops, sporting goods stores, and craft shops. Finally, this is a place where additionally elderly housing or assisted living units could be built. The village would be easily walkable with sidewalks and safe intersections and new landscaping. And that sounds great to me, because I think everybody agrees that right now I don't see any sidewalks. I don't see that it's very safe. We have elderly people here up at Applewood who come in wheelchairs, motorized vehicles, trying to get to our store just to get milk and bread, and they take their lives into their own hands. Land would be acquired around the village to serve as parks and open space. New recreational opportunities would be developed with winter sports on Ossipee Hill and possibly a park at the northern end of Townhouse Road. Outside of the village area, the rural character of the farms and open space will be preserved. I think the comprehensive plan speaks what the center of Waterboro is. East Waterboro. This references the intersections of Route 202 and 5. Yet Route 5 is the corridor for the village district. And when people talk about the Hannaford area, that actually is a general purpose zone, not a village. So the ability to do what they do down there is not what is allowed in the village district. So I do want to point that out. A couple of the letters that were written, they do reference commercial, 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 and we're not asking for commercial zoning, we're actually asking for village zoning. East Waterboro is a shopping retailer of the community. The intersection of 202 and 5 is the best place to concentrate retail uses. A grocery store is there now. Other large stores or an office business park could be located right next to or behind the existing development. And again, that's talking about Hannaford's area. That's not talking about the center here. The retail business area should be clustered around the intersection with good sidewalks and landscaping between stores. Outside of this intersection, East Waterboro should remain rural and residential. And that's the other part of East Waterboro, which is us. Open space along Deering Ridge and Roberts Ridge should be conserved with hiking trails and picnic areas. Housing may be clustered near to the school. So I just, when the planning board looks at this, I want you to look at it as a whole. What is the plan for the future? It's written. It's already written and provided, for you. And again, I just, what this center always was. The Hurley House used to be a hotel. I will say, there has been some buildup in this area, and to the residents, of course, I don't want to shine on anybody's property. I'm not coming over to, I don't want to ever infringe, and we don't want anybody to feel that that is our intention, because it isn't. We cherish where we are and what's around us just as much as I think as you do. I can't speak for my abutters. I don't know, but I can't see with the history that they have on that property that they would be willing to just demolish it, and because it is a big history within the town. So I would hope that in consideration of this, that you do see the vision that the town has already put forward. So, thank you.
When I read the zoning ordinance, permitted for, you have to have 40,000 feet, but it says permitted uses, this is not conditional use, is hotel, motel, inn, overnight, year-round, seasonal accommodation, bar and food service, gas stations, machinery, vehicle sales, service, washing, repair facilities. I mean, these are all things that are permitted in the village
With a 1 acre.
with, yes. I mean, and these are things that could happen there.
Well, I think if you look, my family operated Brunetti's restaurant on the lake. On the lake, there was a restaurant. I think a lot of people miss it. I don't think a restaurant is adverse. I don't think a gift shop is adverse. We already know car washes don't work. We have one in town that doesn't work. You can't even open it. So that's out of the question. I'm the largest landowner of all these lots. I have a huge investment in the Lakeside Market. That's not coming down. The way it sets is the way it sets. The lot across the street, we do have development plans there. We've already put an entrance permit in there. Half the lot is already village anyway, so I can come forward to the planning board as it is now and put something there. We're just trying to square the lot up correctly. As far as Frank's stuff, I agree with these folks. This got out of hand because all we did is come to them because of the lot next to the store. Looking at Laughing Loon Lane. They asked to have their properties included. We followed through with what they asked. Do I agree that that waterfront should be there? No, I don't. But I think the rest of the area is business now. It's all small business. Some of them, I'm running under a conditional use permit right now.
And that's fine, you can.
And I can add to my building right now, the way it's, I don't need to do anything. I can add more on my property the way it sits right now because I am allowed to do that. So this isn't going to change anything with the lakeside property as it is right now. I'm here because of my property across the street. We would like to develop that, and it is going to be small businesses, and I stress small businesses. They could be anything from barber shop to a craft shop to a small restaurant, small business. So if you're asking where we're going, I'm telling you that's where we're going. And included with that would be a vision with sidewalks, which we will pay for. We will put those in. We fully expect to do that when we have to.
Right, and I think people are just expressing their concern on the overall proposal that you could quadruple the density. You could go from a 2-acre lot to a half-acre lot. And, I do fully understand the congestion in that area. That's, why that spur was closed, because it was an accident-prone area.
The spur actually wasn't closed, the spur was left open.
Well, one side.
Yes,
So it's a one-way.
it actually
Yeah,
relieves the
sorry.
congestion.
And the light was installed for additional safety reasons. And, you have the reduced speed zone because of the area that it goes through. There is the intent of the zoning ordinance, the intent of the ordinance to regulate and restrict the use of all lands, waters, and structures, regulate and restrict lot coverage, population distribution and density, and the size and location of all structures as to lessen congestion on and promote the safety and efficiency of streets and highways, secure safety from fire, flooding, and other dangers, provide adequate light, air, water, supplies, sanitation, drainage, and access to roads and water bodies, avoid undue population concentrations, facilitate the adequate provision at reasonable costs of public facilities and utilities, stabilize and protect existing public and private property and the value inherent therein, ensure the appropriate use of land and the conservation of natural resources, preserve and promote the historic character and beauty of the town. It's further intent to provide for the administration and enforcement of this ordinance and to provide penalties for its violation. And actually, above that, the purpose of this ordinance is to promote the health, safety, morals, prosperity, aesthetics, and general welfare of the town of Waterboro. I mean, I think you're going to see throughout the town, in all of these different zoning areas, that there's probably properties everywhere that the zone line goes through a particular parcel. I mean, personally, I don't have a problem with putting the zone line at the property line. You know, however, you know, a lot of these other pieces of property, my personal opinion is they're not appropriate. So, and, you know, we will be taking this under old business later in the meeting and making a recommendation that'll be forwarded to the selectmen. And the other thing besides increased density is you're reducing the setbacks. In the A&R zone, right now it's required to have a 75-foot setback, front setback, and going to a village in a half acre, the setback can be as close as 25 feet, and in a 1 acre, your setback can be as close as 50 feet.
All those structures in there now are currently right on the road.
Right, and I'm just
Everything
stating that for the public
They're
that's
all
here.
down. Anything that's on Route 5 right now is already very close to the road.
Right, and those existing ones can stay, but the new ones will need to go by these guidelines. They won't be able to be closer than the ordinance allows.
Correct, so you're going to put it further back, so you're going to increase the state a lot. The
Well,
state-
it will be, but as I was pointing out, the difference between the setback in the pieces that were left A&R, if they did not go village, the setback would be even greater than
As far as
the village.
the impact there, the state had to look at the impact in order to give me an entrance permit. They've given me an entrance permit. They said it doesn't impact the area. They allow up to 1,000 trips a day through that entrance. Anything over that, then we'll have to go for a permit.
And I think one
For
of
traffic study.
the other things that I saw as a safety issue is, you know, the curb cuts. Whereas, you know, Lakeside Market, you have your whole frontage there as access to and from the property. It's not confined to just a couple of areas, and you have more people entering and exiting. So as I think with the new developments being limited to a specific area of access and not the whole road frontage.
That's the way it already is right now. They looked at it, DOT came in and they asked that the current, it's already a paved road into there, and it's right opposite of the sign, so there's no cars that can come at you head on. That's Glen Willette already came out, the permit's already been issued, it's already been paved. There would be a traffic study if it was a business in there that created more than 1,000 trips a day in and out. And I can assure you that's not what's going to be going in there.
Right, and without any sort of specific plan for what these lots will become, everyone needs to assume that it could become anything allowed by the ordinance, either a primary or conditional use. And we have someone who wants to speak again.
I'm sorry, I think there might have been a little bit of a misunderstanding. I'm not afraid of Frank knocking down, demolishing. I'm afraid that he's going to develop the other side of Laughing Lane. I think it's going to become over congested. And where he put that last building he put in, and, you know, it was an agricultural, you don't know how he did it. So what's to say that he's not going to put more in?
Well, he currently can put stuff on that in agriculture. He can put houses on that land right now.
But he put that, it said agricultural, we had to have a required lot size.
It's a 2.5 acre lot that he has there.
It's a lot of record on
There's a
this.
lot
Yeah,
of,
it's
I'm sorry?
It's a lot of record.
I think what we're confusing here is our zoning, when it was put into being, there were many lots that were too small for the zone, but they were already there. So the people who did the zoning said, okay, we will call these lots of record, and as long as they were in existence before zoning and they do not meet the lot size that's required by zoning, we're not going to say that, okay, this lot is no longer buildable. It has to have some use. So we have, and I think this is what you're confusing with zoning for village, is that, for example, lot 17A, I believe, we can reduce the setbacks to allow for putting up a building on one of these lots, as long as it was in existence before zoning, and as long as it does not meet the size for the lot now. And I think maybe that's what you might be confusing as saying that we have zoned for village, because I don't think we have. I think we have used this section for lots of record. I know we did for, isn't 17A, when you put that on, that's how that got there.
Now, lot 31, is that your lot, or is that Frank's? That's what I'm concerned about. Is that, was that lot before the zoning? Is he able to
But
put?
that lot
Yeah, he-
is not a lot of record because it meets the minimum lot size for AR zone. Like AR zone is a
You have the size on lot
2-acre lot,
31.
isn't it?
It says 80,000 square feet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he needs,
So he meets
So
the-
he would have to meet
all the
the
setbacks.
standard setbacks now. He could not be reduced.
Okay, then the house that he put in across from that on 17A,
See, that's a little tiny lot, and it was in existence before zoning.
okay, but the
So-
lot across, 31, is,
No,
that was not
31 would
existent?
not be a lot of record, because it's too big, okay? He'd have to meet the standards for the AR zone or the village zone. I mean, if it's changed, then he would have to meet the standards for the
Okay.
village zone today. He could not have his sidelines.
Well, unless the lot is too narrow, you know.
Yeah,
If the lot was
okay.
too narrow on the side,
Yeah.
in the setback, so, you know, it didn't allow a building envelope to get in, then we could reduce.
I don't know if it
Okay.
could. I don't think so, not if it's a big enough lot. It has to
Because
be.
that only has 100 foot
That
of
lot
road
is
frontage.
really an unusable lot. That lot is only usable
He would have
Yeah.
to go
for
for,
Lakeside to purchase that.
He would
And
probably
just
have
so
to go for a
everybody knows,
variance for
I had
that.
that under contract 2 years ago. We backed out of the contract on that because there's some issues with Laughing Loon Lane, and there being an 11-foot right-of-way between Laughing Loon Lane and that lot. So we couldn't access that lot from Laughing Loon Lane, according to our attorney. So the only way to access that would have been straight off from Route 5, and it's under AR zone, there's only 100 feet, you couldn't do anything there anyways. So that lot really is only used for Frank to use it as he is right now, of storing stuff on it, boats, people parking there, or it becomes a continuous lot with Lakeside's property. If we were to buy it, it would just enhance the size of our
So
lot.
he couldn't build cottages on
I
that?
don't believe so, right?
no,
Right, Patty?
Okay. My other, maybe I'm in the wrong place for this, but I've always tried to get what a right-of-way is. All down Laughing Loon Lane is right-of-ways, and no one seems to be able to give me an answer for that. And I don't know if you have that answer, or...
a deeded right to passage over the land, and it should be right in the deed.
We do have it on our deed.
Yeah.
But from what people tell me, anybody can use, if they have a deeded right-of-way, they can use it any of those right-of-ways, not just the abutters, not just the deeded people. I've heard people tell me that anyone in town can use those right-of-ways.
I'm not a
That
lawyer.
scares me.
I don't think so. I
Depends
think-
whether it's a private road for public access, like Lake Arrowhead.
Okay.
Lake Arrowhead's a private roads, but they're public access roads. Or it can be just a truly private road.
Now, is Laughing Loon Lane, that's private?
It'd be what it,
No,
I can
no,
tell
no.
you
Oh.
that the right-of-ways exist back
I'm getting off
back
track.
before
Yeah.
refrigeration.
Exactly.
Okay, there's where the passage, I believe, where the snowmobiles actually go down. That is where the horses used to go down. They used to cut ice out of the lake and drag it off. And everyone had a right of way to access the lake. And everyone legally has a right to access the lake to anybody's property, using anybody's property by foot. So if they, like, for myself, if I wanted to cross your property to go on the lake to get ice to come back, I'm legally allowed to do that, not with motorized vehicle or anything. But you are allowed to get to water through anyone's
So,
property.
so you don't have to have a deeded right-of-way. Anybody
Oh,
in
I
town
know.
can go down any of those
Oh, I don't-
right-of-ways.
I don't know, I think we're going off subject here, so let's come back to
You
the,
need a lawyer to answer
Yeah,
those
that's a-
questions, and we are not.
Maybe somebody in the town would give us a clear answer.
the deed, I mean, it'd be in your deed, that's the place
Yeah,
to look
look
for
at
what
your
your
deed,
deed says on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
side. All right, no, any other comments on the zoning change, requested zoning change?
I would just ask the board to use discretion and make, it seems there is two issues that are being tied together. And it seems the interest of one, being the store, could be quite different from the other issue that has all the cottages around the lake and that land. It seems to be making it a little convoluted as to, why are those being requested to be brought into the village zone? And
Okay.
it doesn't seem to be conforming with what the store is saying, with what they're doing. And I'm just still confused as to why they're tied together, so I'd like the board to just use discretion when they're thinking about it, as to why that's taking place.
Thanks.
Would you ever approve just the stores?
Right now,
Proposal and
I
not
think
Frank's? Or
that-
is it one?
right now, it includes all of the lots. That's the requested change is that. If, a lot depends on what happens when we get to it at the meeting, what the next step will be.
And I think we do not decide. The selectmen have the power to decide, or they can either decide themselves or put it out to the voters, I believe, is their choices. And I do not know what they've thought about it. I mean, we as a planning board can make recommendations to the selectmen. That's why we got in trouble last time. And that's the only thing that we can do. And I would assume that's what we're going to do tonight, after the public hearing is closed, that we're going to make a recommendation to the selectmen of our view of all of this.
Right, because we don't take a vote during a public hearing. We have to close the public hearing and do that later tonight.
Just to clarify, one thing Sandy said is, the difference between village zone and the GP zone, the village zone allows commercial buildings, but they're less than 1,000 square feet, so generally smaller businesses. But, the A&R zone, you could have a mink breeding farm there, and doesn't need a permit at all. They could just, raise, wild dogs and stuff like that. It could be on there. That's a permitted use under AR right now. So
Big farm,
Horses.
you could, it's a
like my road, your road.
professional state.
People live a half-acre lot that have 2 horses on the lake.
You could have a commercial stable there, so people could
And
board their
animals
horses.
in the house.
But there are differences between the two zones. Each has their own good and bad. If no other comments, I'll close the public hearing at 8:21. And I'll open up our regular scheduled for February meeting at 8:21 also, noting the absence. All right. I would like to go out of order, because I think, with the exception of you guys, everyone else here is for the zoning change. So I'd like to take old business first, and then we'll move to the appointments next. And that way, we can talk with you guys about the appointment and not have, unless you want to stay for the appointment also. Is that okay with the board? Okay. Keep the flow going. What we have is, for the request, it includes, everything is lumped into the one request right now with what we have.
Can we go through just one lot at a time and do
Actually,
like
I'm
a
sorry.
yay or nay, and
I actually take that back.
maybe the reasons why?
No, it isn't.
Let's-
It's two.
It includes 9, 10, 11, 17A there. It's all It's all one request
public
right now.
hearing.
So, if you want to continue, Teresa, that's
Okay.
what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we just go through one at a time and just do a yay or nay on each lot, rather than trying to
No,
lump
'cause
them, or,
I mean, we can go through that, but in the
What?
end, we need, it's a yes or a no on the whole.
no, we can,
No,
That's when I first
that's how we got in trouble the first
well,
time.
no,
Yeah, I know,
that
but
was when we
it's
were
lumped together
deciding
now,
on the
so
public,
it's all-
what would go to public
It's all
hearing.
one thing now.
And we've had, this is the public
9, 10,
hearing on
11,
her
17,
request. Now we're making a recommendation to the selectmen. The recommendation is not everything or nothing,
So it-
right?
The zone is a yes or a no for the requested change. We can do a recommendation, but it's a yes or no vote. I'm sorry, Tom?
Would the board like some clarification as to what you can do with this?
Yes.
Okay. You're dealing with two different situations. The last time, the board was suggesting to the applicant which to have in and which to have out
For the public hearing.
for the public hearing. Now, situation two is that the board does have the opportunity to isolate certain lots.
To
And
pick
say,
and choose.
because you're making a recommendation to the final authority, which is the Board of Selectmen. So you could, if it were X, Y, Z lots, you could say, we recommend for these reasons that lots X and Y be permitted as the change of zone, whereas Z, we do not recommend. So
Okay.
it's purely a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen.
Okay.
So in other words, simply put, you can isolate certain lots in your recommendation.
Okay.
So I think starting with, what's that, 6 and
Church.
6 and 9 and 5, those all have water frontage. So for me, if it's got water frontage, it should not change to a higher density. I think last time we talked about using Laughing Loon Lane as the northern boundary. However, looking at Lot 31 and discussing, I mean, if that's cut into smaller lots, I mean, they're not going to be able to access onto Route 5. You're going to be dumping more traffic on the Laughing Loon. So for me, I would not include 31.
31 has no access.
31 has no access to Laughing Loon, is what you said?
So,
There is no legal,
There's no legal access to there.
the only
From
way,
our
the only
attorney,
the only
said
way
there
they can
wasn't.
access
Is
is
Route
onto
5.
Route 5. Okay, then, well then,
Sunnyside is exempt from that because
They're the owners of the property, and
they've used it for a certain amount of years and they have access. But if that parcel was just, say, sold to someone else, there is no access to Laughing Loon.
But if they wanted to,
but if they subdivide it, there's still no access to Laughing Loon?
There's not a driveway.
But
I don't, that's.
it's a
that's-
legal thing, but we've been told that there wasn't, that's why we backed out of a contract with them. I would already own that
Well,
property
then,
right now.
when in doubt, I would say don't include it. Maybe I should just say the easiest thing is to square off and include all
Well,
of
I
Lot
think we need to go to
3.
some natural boundaries here. And a
Well-
road is a natural boundary.
I mean, at the last public hearing, there was the comment made that, to do a zoning change, some people felt it was inappropriate just to do a snapshot, not to look at the whole picture, the whole town of Waterboro. So I think if we're good, from my personal opinion, I think if we're going to do something, we should do a minimum, which would include all of the rest of Lot 3, 33A and 33, the rest of 35, which is the Hurley property, and the 2 town hall pieces, 38 and 39. I think it's inappropriate to do the other lots because they're the close proximity to the water.
What about Lot 4, Teresa?
Lot 4, it's not going to be subdivided anyway, it's too small. I just think if you make a clean line at the top of Lot 3, go across 33, include 33 and 33A, you know, and come, and just follow these lot lines up here, and over to the town property. And just do it minimal right now, because I think to change a whole lot of properties without looking at the whole picture is doing a disservice. You know, to do these little snapshot changes is inappropriate. But I would support those few lots.
I don't view them as a snapshot change, it's a whole section of a village that was already commercial. These were commercial. If you look back, Teresa, it's been commercial.
Well, the town back in
You got
1977,
property-
when they,
You have a property right now you don't want to put on there, that's an insurance agency, right now.
and that's fine, it can continue as it is.
Well, why not make it what it's village like it should be, instead of running on a conditional use permit?
Well, I was going by another comment made tonight of using some natural boundaries, so I was looking at a minimal change, because I think I kind of feel that, is there going to be another applicant coming in here? Let's move this line a little, let's move this line a little, let's move this line a little. And, you know, maybe some people feel that's appropriate, but, I mean, other people would say, let's look at zoning as a whole. And I think, for me, I'm trying to compromise here, is my way of looking at it.
All right. I mean, I look at it as the town of Waterboro lacks any definition of character for a village center. And what's being proposed tonight basically takes and doesn't really, doesn't bring in a Sam's Club or a Walmart into this part of town, but it allows the ability to have a place that people can come to as a congregation. I do agree that any of the waterfront properties should not be included. I do feel that natural borders like Laughing Loon Lane is an easy definable area. So the only difference I have with you, Teresa, is lot 4 and lot 31.
Lot 5 actually only has about 5 feet of water from the back of a swamp area.
Yeah,
It's a nice 2.5 acre lot, that's why I look at that and go, it is a nice 2.5 acre lot there, and
But you have to assume that any of the uses allowed in village could go there, and that's very close proximity
well,
to
they
the
would have to
water.
make the 100-foot setback and have vegetation and everything there, which I think if you looked at it and say that was a business down the road, let's say it's someone with a nice, wants to put a law office there, that small area in the back might be a nice place to have a picnic area. I think we have to look a little forward than just 5 feet of water is gonna.
the only thing
And
is,
a law office would be fine, but it could be any of the other things the ordinance allows.
it could also be
as well.
subdivided too, so you could cut off the back half, because it does have access to the road back there.
Right.
So you could cut that lot in half. Somebody could, if it was village zone as opposed to AR zone.
But someone could build a house there
Right,
and have water access.
yep.
I mean, I wouldn't be averse to it
I mean,
adding.
we have a church sitting there right now that has cars all over it. We have a campground on the opposite side of that water. That's
Right, and
high
that's not a
impact.
desirable use, but it's already in
It's there,
existence.
and the church is got cars parking all the way down the road and everything else, so I don't think the lot closer back towards the village, being 5, is gonna impact.
And just because...
I think
I'm
we
sorry.
can set that side of the road and leave that side of the road village, and then cut off at Laughing Loon Lane, we achieve what we're looking at for the village character in there.
Just under village or A&R, churches are both
Right.
permitted
And
uses,
that's
doesn't
not-
matter.
It's
so-
not going anywhere.
Right.
They can't, if it goes down, the lot's not big enough, they have to rebuild that size. So that would take that barrier out, using the water as a natural barrier right there. That church is not going anywhere, as we know that. And then Laughing Loon Lane being the other barrier.
Is there any way, do
It's
do we
not
know
going
for
anywhere.
sure that 31 cannot access Laughing Loon?
No, we don't.
So with that in doubt,
I just look at it as it's an easy definable, Laughing Loon Lane. The other lot with the actual AR is written on, that's got water frontage, so I mean, that would not be included.
what do you guys think? What do you think, Bruce?
Dave, you have any?
I agree with using Camp Laughing Loon Road as one of the border lines. I do question including the church property in the village zone.
And that's 5, right?
Right.
6.
6?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, definitely not 6.
The lot, is it lot 5? I can't read the numbers.
Oh.
Yeah, 5 is
one
the,
five.
This is 5, yeah. I think that should be included in the village zone. That's my opinion. The rest, all of the Sunnyside Cottage property other than 31, I don't think should be included in it.
so right now, everybody's in agreement on 39, 38, 35, 33, 33 alpha, and 3, correct?
Can you read those again?
Yeah, starting at the town hall, 39, 38, the rest of lot 35,
Okay.
lot 33, lot 33 alpha, and the whole of lot, make lot 3 whole.
3, okay.
So those are, we're definitely in agreement on those.
Right.
Yes.
That's actually 35, you mean, not 39, right?
I don't know.
It's 35. Yeah, you have 34, which is the real estate office, 35, which is the Hurley property, and 37 is the town hall.
Then,
39.
No, 38 and 39 is,
Oh, I'm sorry, never mind, it's up in the little corner.
yeah, okay. So 38, so 39, 38, 35, 33,
Well, then
33
let me-
alpha, and 3.
well, then, if some of the board is in favor of Lot 5, what's the reasoning? Well, yeah, you said Laughing Loon Lane, but, I mean, for me, I'm still not in favor of Lot 5. I mean,
All right, so the ones that were definitely out then are 6, 9, 11, and 17A.
6, 9, 11, and 7, okay.
Are
So
is
now
that
we're,
what-
so now we're left with 31, 10, and 5, and 4?
Yeah,
4, 5, 10, and 31, okay.
so those are the 4 that are in, we have 4 that are in
Contention.
contention right now. Let's just go down and take a vote through the 4 of us. If you're in favor of 31, all those in favor of 31? Or
As
is that- is that-
going village, in favor of going
Village.
village on 31.
Is that everybody agreeable to that?
You're raising your hand if you're in favor?
Yes. If-
Okay.
Is that everybody agreeable, we just vote on those 4? and
Sure.
That way we can have a decision on that?
Okay.
Lot 31, if you're in favor of that one going to the village zone, all those in favor? All those opposed? So it's 3-1. Lot 10, which is where I guess the camp is right now, or the lot next to the camp, the farmhouse.
That's Mrs. What's her name's old house, yeah.
Okay. The one with the metal roof.
She's still there.
Is she? Oh, no, it can't be
That's
because
Frank's mom.
the one I'm thinking of is dead.
Lot 10 included in the village zone? All those in favor? All those opposed? Okay. Lot 5, which is cross Route 5. All those in favor of that being included in the village zone? All those opposed? 1 to 3. And Lot 4, in favor of being included in the village zone? Opposed? Yeah.
I'm in favor of that.
Okay, so 3-1. All right, so that ends up then that lots 31 and lot 4 would be recommended by the board to the selectmen is being moved to the village zone. Lots that would not be included in our recommendation would be lots 6, 9, 11, 17 alpha, and lot 5. Wait a minute, I voted for that. I didn't vote for that. All right. So that's
6 that we're opposing.
6,
Parcels.
5, I have 10. Oh, I missed 10, yes, 10, you're right. 6, so lots, just for clarification, lots that would not be recommended to the Board of Selectmen would be lots 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, and 17 alpha.
Yep.
Okay?
And I'll motion if we need a motion.
Yes. Make a motion, please.
Yes, that those are not included, and the remainder that are included is 3, 4, 31, 33 alpha, 33, 35, 38, and 39.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have anybody second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor of the motion? Motion passes 4-0. So the planning board will make a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen that those lots be included in the village zone. And as the planning board, we just forward off to the selectmen with comments from the public as to why we made the recommendations for those lots or against those lots. And then the Board of Selectmen will make the final decision. Okay? All right. That's that. Everybody else welcome to stay there for the next appointment. You don't have to leave early, you know. Nothing on TV tonight.
They want to get home and watch Lost.
You're not going to get any answers to questions. You're just going to get more questions.
I know.
All right, thanks, you guys.
That doesn't stop us from watching.
Okay. Next on the agenda is a setback reduction for Norman and Carmen Paquette.
I'm Norman Paquette.
Okay. All right.
The request is for 275 West Shore Road, and that's what the road was set back from, well, the road was moved 150 feet back from our lot. Doug Foglio will have moved that. I don't know if I'll show you where it's at.
Okay.
And we have a new septic tank, a new septic system put in, and as a consequence of that, we gave Patty a permit application to do some work there, which included a garage, a receiving system. The garage apparently has to go for a variance at a later date as a consequence of a newsletter, I guess, from DEP that had some information in reference to that. I guess it's pretty straightforward. I don't know if you need any more information other than what you have there on the application.
Because what we have tonight for the application is a 30% expansion to build a handicap ramp and foundation for the site. We do have a drawing. We're just trying to, our copy is very light.
Is that where that big pile of dirt is?
Yeah, that's,
Okay.
yeah, right, yeah, that's right. We're right adjacent to it.
So on the drawing, where's the lake?
Okay, the lake is, okay, this is the garage here. The house, let's see. Okay, here's the, okay, this is the lake here.
Oh, okay.
That's the cottage. This one is what we presented in reference to the garage this evening, because there wasn't enough detail here for the
Okay, so your lake is like, goes like,
yeah, like that here, and the cottage itself sits in here.
okay.
There
So
isn't
20 by,
a vacant lot between you and the next one, is
Yeah,
there?
the next one, yeah, there's a Vitco is the one. We're lot.
I know where Vitco is, but there's another one on the other side.
Yes. Well, in between,
Is there a vacant lot in
Yeah,
between?
there is. Yes, there is. It's owned by Mr. Vitco.
Oh, okay. So that's that lot?
That's that lot, yes, and there's another one here owned by Grigline, and then there's a large mound there with another cottage on it, and it goes back down to,
Who owns the deck?
the what?
The deck kind of that's out there, is that the other camp?
Okay,
The deck that's kind of sits by itself,
Yeah.
that would be Gregoire. That's our name.
Okay.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's Grigline right in here.
Okay, okay.
where's the huge pile of dirt with the phone pole sticking out of it?
Right
No, I
right
don't
here,
think-
that's
that's not-
right in here.
Okay.
This pile
That's
of
a,
dirt I'm
that's a
talking
pile of
about
loam
is
that's
new
going to be
since then.
spread on Mr. Vitco's lot.
Okay.
We'll be able to let that there,
There's a
too.
couple of drawings in there.
Yeah, okay. It didn't look like there was another lot in between there.
There is a small lot.
Wow.
The angles of the lots
Yeah,
going to the
they
lake
were-
is kind of skewed from the road, that's what.
Why did he do that? They're all,
I don't
have no
know,
idea.
they're all,
because we saw that with
Right, they all
Mr.
have that
Vickers.
dog leg,
They've all
huh?
got that.
Yeah,
slant.
rather than just go straight out.
Did there used to be a road through and maybe lots on both sides? And
There
now
was
they're
a
all double
road.
lots or something?
Well, it was a,
Is
they,
there a dog leg?
I don't know why they did that. Frank sold all of his land there. And
Yeah, it sounds...
they cut down the mountain and,
that's right.
Yeah, that's why we were able to put in a new septic system there, otherwise than that we had absolutely no room for anything.
Okay, well, what we have for us tonight is 30% expansion.
just to determine the greatest practical extent because it has a foundation under it.
Okay.
So they have to move it back to what extent.
I mean, I think in order to do it justice, we have to do a site walk.
Yeah, sure.
So and that's what that's the board's thought too. I think that's where we go next on this, is we look at set a date for a site walk, and then we can,
When you go for your site walk, the septic tank itself, I've got a 2x4 pole sticking over the top of it so you know where it's at.
okay.
You know, it's right in here. The septic tank right there.
Okay.
A 100-foot setback runs, let's see, right along here.
Okay.
I think it's it's clearer on this.
With that drawing.
This was done by a professional.
Okay.
how far back from the water is your camp now?
Okay, the
building?
25 feet.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
okay, it
cottage,
looked like
yeah,
it,
the
yeah.
deck is 25, the cottage is 35 and a half approximately.
What size is the lot?
It's at 13,000.
It's on there.
Yeah,
Is that,
That's,
Should be towards the last pages.
yes,
Okay. That might give you a better idea of what you're looking at.
that's actual,
yeah.
all right. Sunset's about 5 o'clock each night. I mean, so I don't know what the possibilities of a weeknight as opposed to a weekend. Every day we,
are we going to be able to see anything with the snow cover?
Well, right now, all the stakes are, there's a wooden stakes marking all the pins and the 100-foot setback. And I got a 2x4 with the center of the septic tank. I don't know if you need anything else. We've been trying to keep the lot clear to some extent, plowed it and shoveled around the
I think
cottage.
what he's getting at, as long as it doesn't snow too much before the time.
And we're just considering a handicap
Yeah, we have
ramp and
a,
foundation?
they just,
Considering how far back they have to move it, if at all.
because the 30% is private patties.
What they want to do, if I may interject, the camp right now sits, there's no foundation, it just sits on sonotubes. It's minimally off the grade on one end, the closest to the new road, and it's probably a good
3 feet off of grade, closest to the lake. They would like to get a foundation under it. I think when you go out and do the site walk, you'll see that they're not going to be able to push it back because they're too close to their back property line. And I don't think they're going to be able to push it to meet the 100-foot setback off the water without interfering with both setback requirements from the leach field and property line, so.
Okay. And that's the reason,
The handicap ramp that they're asking for, they have an existing on the side entrance, where the driveway entrance would be, is an existing set of stairs, but they have a daughter who occasionally is in a wheelchair, may permanently be in a wheelchair, to convert, because it doesn't meet setbacks, and it would encroach on it's within the 100-foot zone, they need the board's approval to convert that little entry step into a ramp. So they put that on the application.
Yeah. All right. Anybody have any preferences for days on doing a site walk?
I don't get out of work till 4:30,
What time do you get back here?
5:15.
I mean, you'd have twilight at 5:15. I mean, every day we wait till a minute,
Get out at
but
4 and do a 4:45 maybe.
I mean, based on Ditko's, I think it's pretty well cleared, so we can get a good view pretty quick.
How's the West Shore Road, is that?
Yeah, that's
It's fine, it's well, yeah.
Hey, the calendar's back.
Now, I only have front-wheel drive, so.
You can get in there, it's
Okay,
fine.
all right.
There's no problem.
Today's the 4th, next Wednesday's the 11th. Does that work? Tina, that meets our minimum notification
Will we have
time?
to just continue the meetings?
Okay.
They've already notified, haven't they?
Yes.
They have-
Notification of the abutters?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've all been
Yeah,
notified.
because
Okay.
Frank got a,
Yeah.
on the,
So, I mean, we could do the 11th?
yeah.
Does that work with everybody?
Unless you have to notify again for
It's
something.
okay with me.
We could do like 5 o'clock. Is that okay?
Yeah, I would definitely be there by 5.
And we'll be limited light. I mean, we'll have light, but we're not gonna have
It
a,
only takes, what,
This should be
15
fine.
minutes?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think it's going to take you long to
No,
see the existing
no,
conditions and
no.
make a determination.
okay,
It's
so,
not that big.
Does that work for you, Dave?
That's fine.
okay. So 5 o'clock on the 11th? Are you gonna be there, Scott?
I'll attend, sure.
Okay. Are we, I mean,
Yeah, I'll be able to be there.
okay, just so, that, if we have questions while we're there. And is the 100-foot line, is that marked?
That's There's stakes in there, if you want us to pull strings from it, we could do that.
They've got blue plastic flags on
Okay.
the 200-foot setback stakes.
That way, I mean, especially if you guys can explain the different color and flags and stuff.
Yeah, everything is pretty well marked.
Okay. All right. So we'll continue this meeting. We'll see you on the 11th then.
Okay, great.
So look at this
Say
at
5.
5 p.m.
Okay.
I think what he gave you is our
Yours?
copy. so if you
Okay.
can-
There was something from the file
Actually,
that
this is the
passed
plan.
down.
This is the boards.
No, that's a.
Oh, is it yours? It's a receipt.
Yeah, this
Okay.
Oh,
is.
is this the one?
That must be the one that's got. That one's got original color in it.
Yeah.
It's got, yeah, that's the boards.
Yeah.
Because it's got the sticky on it. Sorry, thanks.
No, it's just our only copy.
Yeah, no problem at all. We would just fill up folders with paper anyways. Okay. So you guys are set. We'll see you next week.
Okay, great.
And then,
And then we'll put them on the agenda under old business on the next meeting, right?
Right.
And we can discuss what you found in the sidewalk.
yeah,
Okay.
So they'll be on the agenda for the 18th.
the 18th.
And the expansion is approved and the foundation's conditional?
The 30%, what you proposed is within 30%.
Okay.
So that's approved. We just need to
Right.
have them locate where it's going to be.
So has the site been surveyed? I mean,
Yes,
so
yes, it's all
okay.
surveyed.
Okay, so the pins are all there and everything?
Yes, they're all marked with stakes so that you still can see above the stone.
Okay. The next thing we have on our agenda, we can't do minutes because we don't have all the people here. We have a letter from Perkins and Thompson from the 27th of January for a draft contract zoning agreement, and that went to the Board of Selectmen, so it's Board of Selectmen's decision on the draft zoning for that, but that's in our package.
And so Perkins Tompkins is LaBourge's
Yes. Yeah.
attorney?
Yeah. And it goes in, it's
And
actually a contract that they've got attached. So, I'm assuming, will the board let us know what their decision is, or?
This is not the end of the
it's
road,
not
is it?
final, right, a final contract of any means, right?
This is in a draft stage.
Okay.
And so, legal counsel will collaborate with the Board of Selectmen, and once they get it to a state that the Board of Selectmen is happy with, or both parties are happy with, then they would forward it to the planning board.
Okay, because I did see that they, Ken Cole actually drafted it with them, provided the draft to them.
Attorney Cole provided a prototype for them to use as a model.
Okay, just a boilerplate.
Yeah,
Okay.
but hardly what's necessary in this particular application. I think it was just a starting point, a foundation stone.
Okay. All right. We do have the plans over there. If you have not signed the plans, you need to sign those.
Motion to continue the meeting, or is there something else?
No, that's it. I have a motion to continue the meeting. Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor? All right.